What's up? My name is Bryce. Y'all know this. What you're going to need to cook this is a fork. And then I have this for, I guess, measurement reasons. And then you're gonna need a paper towel. And I'll show you why later, I guess. Maybe a couple if you're making a lot. Not gonna lie to you. And then the sauces I'm using is garlic powder. I don't know if you can see that well, but yeah. Garlic powder, onion powder, these parsley flake things, some garlic salt. Me and my dad don't really like salt, so I don't really go too crazy on the salt now. I ain't gonna lie to you. Okay, I don't know why this is like this, but some black pepper. You ain't gotta be. I normally don't really use this because, I mean, how am I gonna get this into this? Don't know. I'll find a way. Then you need some of this oregano, and yeah. So that's all the spices I use, I guess. And then I use this, the hot sauce, the main thing, other than the chicken, obviously. Okay. So to start off, I empty this. Well, I only empty one. I only empty one of these into this. I'm probably gonna get more, but you can't really see because I know if I tip it over anymore, it's gonna hot sauce gonna be all over my counter. You feel me? So yeah, but I put one of these in there, and I put two in the other. But it's the reason why I'm doing this. But I'm making two different batches, I guess. One of them is not mine, so yeah. And of course, you're going to need this, maybe like a frying pan or something like that. I got a fryer, like an electric fryer or whatever. But if anything, I recommend you use a thicker pot, because if you use like a thin one, then it's not gonna come out well, and like the chicken is gonna like stick at the bottom or whatever, and like the flour that's on the chicken or whatever, it's gonna like stick to the bottom, and it's not gonna come out right. So if anything, I would recommend, if you're using any pan, that you have something like a basket that you could just pull it out, kind of like in fast food, I guess, how they do it. Because if you don't, then it'll just stick to the bottom. All the flour and stuff is gonna get to the bottom, and then it's like the chicken, after you put it in the fryer, it's gonna be sitting down on the. It's just gonna be sitting down on the bed of flour, and yeah, that's not what you want. Okay, so after that, what you want to do? You want to get your chicken. All right. One of what I'm doing, I'm going to clean this, and soon after, that's why you need the fork. And you just take this fork and you put it through like that part right there. And normally you would hold this, the little stem part I have. Knew that was gonna happen. Dang. You wanna get that little stem part right there, and then put the fork through, and then it's gonna fall on the paper towel. After that, you're gonna peel it off. And then you got this part out. And you don't want this part, because, I mean, you can't fry it without this part. Only thing is like you're gonna be chewing this, of course. So, and you don't want to chew this. From there, it should look like this. They may not all come out like this though. So, if they don't, and they look kind of like all like smushed up or whatever, then don't worry too hard about it. I would say that if you do, I would probably I would probably take that thing that I just took out of it. I would take that out first, and then I would clean them, because it's easier to have a grip on it rather than when they like all wet and like slippery and shit. And you don't want that. It's just gonna make your job harder. So it ain't. So that's 1 teaspoon of everything and 2 teaspoons of the parsley flakes. I'll dump that in there. That I'm done cleaning them. That's what was left over of after cleaning them, all of that, but not really too important. What it is before I actually put the chicken in here, I'll actually like mix the seasoning in the hot sauce, so that when you put them in, all the seasoning wouldn't stick to one, and after that, just like when you pick up that actual one, you get a lot of seasoning in your mouth, and then it's just like too salty or something like that. But then after that, you just put it in the refrigerator. Just take 1 piece of chicken and then lay it inside the flour as so, and then just cover it with the flour like that. Flip it. Make sure you get flour on like every little like nook of it, and then from there you just take it from here and you lay it in there, and you do that with about 2 or 3 more, depending on however many more can fit inside your fryer. And then doing this can be like a messy process. So you definitely don't want to wear any like pants or shirt that you don't want to ruin, because you're probably going to get some flour or some oil or maybe some hot sauce on you. But pretty much when you do it, you kind of want to have like a clean kind of station. And normally I would put 4, but I'm gonna just make this an example. But I have the chicken, then the flour, then the grits. Dip that in there. I have a timer, and I set it to 6 or 7 minutes. And now the chicken should be done. So that's how it should come out. Just like that. And then from there, normally you will let it like sit for like a minute or 2. You just dump it right on there. After you fry your first batch, you just repeat the same process with the rest of it until you run out of chicken. But that's all there is to it. I hope you enjoyed the video, but I will continue this video to show you about when I need to change the oil in the flour, so that if you do make a large amount of chicken, then you know how to change the oil and change the flour. So keep watching if you want to see that. Okay, now we're getting to the point where we gotta clean this, because now the flour is starting to get to the bottom and all of that. So what I'm gonna do is take this off real quick. It's kind of hot, so you just want to pour this inside and be careful. Be very careful. But yeah, they got all that flour and stuff like that at the bottom. You want to go ahead and clean that out. Really, just need a spoon. Then you can use new oil, but I mean, this oil isn't bad because it's not like black or anything. Because usually when oil goes like bad, it's like you'll know it's bad because it'll be all like real dark and all that. But you can still use this. And here's what's like left of it, and they got like all of that. So then you can take this and then just set this to the side elsewhere, and then you can get back to cooking.